This is not a single story. It's a packet, a bundled set of corrupted signals. Short stories that weren't meant to reach you. But somehow, they did. Signal packet initialized. Termination, unsuccessful. This is Midnight Malfunction. 4 stories. 4 objects never meant to be recovered. A music box, a parade, an arcade cabinet, a skull that still watches. This is Signal Packet B01. Artifacts. Some things are left behind on purpose. Or maybe they leave themselves behind. A scarf, a notebook, a pair of gloves, or a music box. It was rush hour. Everyone crammed together, heads down. The kind of day where you don't even notice your own breath. I found it on the seat beside me. Small, wooden, carved with stars and moons. No tag, no note. I opened it. The melody was warm, hypnotic. I blinked. When I looked up, everyone was frozen. Mid-conversation, mid-step, mid-breath, like a frame from a paused film. I snapped the box shut. The man beside me finished his sentence without realizing he'd stopped. Someone cursed. They missed their stop. Everyone moved on like nothing happened. I started using it, not for anything bad, just little things. Be first in line at the deli, wander through a museum alone, slip into a movie without a ticket. I'd open the box, let the melody play, everything would freeze. I never stayed long, just a few minutes each time. It always worked. Open, silence, close, the world resumes. Until it didn't. I was on the train again. Same car, same time, same box. I opened it. Time stopped. I watched a drop of coffee hang mid-air, watched the screens on everyone's phones freeze mid-scroll. But when I closed the box, nothing happened. I opened and closed it again, and again. Still nothing. Hours passed. I screamed. I cried. No one moved. I tried to break it, burn it, smash it, leave it behind. It would reappear. On my seat, in my bag, always humming. I slept in empty malls, ate out of convenience stores, talked to mannequins. Time was stuck, but I wasn't alone. Not really. I started seeing things out of the corners of my eyes. Shadows that didn't match mine. Hands that moved when they shouldn't. Then, I saw her. Across the street. She was moving. Walking against the freeze. In her hands, another music box. Identical to mine. She didn't smile, didn't speak. She just opened hers. Everything went dark. Signal split. Playback unresolved. New operator confirmed. This was static entry 011. Midnight Malfunction. Recovered Fragment 01 complete. Music box waveform persistent. Echo trail unresolved. Loading next file. Fragment 02. Behavioral interference event. Procession not logged. When I was 8, a parade came down our street. No signs, no schedule, just music and floats and people in masks. I remember the sky being unusually gray. Not stormy, just faded, like the whole neighborhood had been dimmed a notch. The kind of day where nothing casts a shadow. I asked my mom why no one else was outside. She didn't answer. She didn't even look up. Just kept folding laundry like she hadn't heard anything at all. The parade passed, but it didn't end. It looped, around the block, again and again. Every 30 minutes like it forgot it had already been here. At first, I thought it was a trick, maybe a twin event, maybe a filming project. But no one had cameras. No crew, no signs, just waving hands and expressionless masks. Each time it looked more worn, the dancers more tired. Their smiles stretched just a little too wide. Their outfits started fraying. Glitter flaked off in clumps that never hit the ground. The same float at the front, a grinning clown face with paper streamers, began to sag. By the third pass, its eyes weren't looking straight ahead anymore. On the third loop, the drummer was limping. On the fourth, his drum was gone. No one reacted, not even him. The music stayed the same, but it sounded older, like it was coming from a broken record, played too many times. Notes bent slightly, rhythms lagged. The horns were sharp and wet, like they were underwater. I tried to film it, but my phone glitched, froze, crashed. When I opened the gallery, there was only a video of me, staring at an empty street, smiling. I asked my neighbor the next morning. She laughed. "Parade? What parade?" She said I looked tired, said I'd always been a little dramatic. She asked if I was feeling all right, if I was sleeping okay, if I remembered to take my vitamins. That night, I set an alarm. I wanted to prove it was real. I stood by the window, camera ready. The parade didn't come, but when I blinked, just once, I was already outside. The air was colder. The houses looked different, like they'd aged overnight. On the fifth loop, I saw someone at the end of the line, holding a balloon. It was me, but older, smiling, like she'd been doing this for years. Hair a little longer, eyes a little duller, but the exact same clothes I was wearing. She waved and stepped off the curb, toward me. I turned to run, but I was already holding the string, already standing in the street. No one had told me the parade came for you when you were ready. But somehow, I knew. You don't follow the parade. It remembers who you were. I checked my closet the next morning. My costume was already there. Glitter-stained, mask tied tight. It looked handmade, but not by me. No memory of putting it there, but it fit perfectly. Even the name tag. My name written in faded red ink. Letters reversed like in a mirror. I didn't need to ask where I was supposed to stand. I already knew the steps. Signal, redirected. Timeline marker, out of sync. Viewer, duplicated. Fragment 03, uploaded from corrupted cabinet unit. Playback signature unstable. Visual anomaly redacted. In forgotten corners where the analog world crumbles into disuse, sometimes relics stir. This was one such relic, discovered in the back of a warehouse nobody remembered owning. Under a stained tarp, coated in decades of dust, it waited. An arcade cabinet. Its screen dark, its identity erased. No title, no game, just presence. They tried to power it. Nothing. Just the deep hum of sleeping capacitors, a ghost of a machine. Or so it seemed. They cleaned it, fixed what they could, wired it directly into power, and finally, it woke. A flash, then static, then a name, briefly flickering through the noise. Void drift. It didn't stay, glitched back to insert coin. The game was basic, blocky, crude, a maze, a player, enemies. But the colors were wrong. Sickly greens, unnatural purples. Then the first glitch. A flicker of inverted colors. A sprite stretching too far. A pixel burning red and staying red. The music was cheerful, but not quite right. Slightly out of tune. Like a memory of a song, not the song itself. Then, a flash. Not part of the game. A grainy image half a second long. A shot of the room from a corner no camera occupied. Gone. The game distorted. Landscapes collapsed into noise. Enemies changed. Longer. Taller. Wrong. The joystick twitched on its own. The player character moved without command. Text appeared. It sees you. Get out. Where am I? Each message breaking through static. Each message feeling personal. When the narrator spoke, the game reacted. A freeze, a flicker, as if it heard. The sound was no longer 8-bit. It growled. It whispered. It screamed. A deep vibration filled the room. The CRT screen bloomed with unnatural light. It cast shadows. But the shadows didn't match the cabinet. Another flash. Clearer this time. A hallway. Someone is watching from the end. Then it snapped. A frenzy. Screams. White light. Images. Faces without features. Voices layered over voices. The cabinet shook. A spark popped from the speaker grill. One final message. It's here. Then, black. Silence. The machine was dead. Or appeared to be. But in the dark, one green pixel remained. Unblinking. A hum. Sub-audible, yet still present. And the narrator. The red sound waves lagged just for a moment. Like something else had spoken too. It sleeps now. Or maybe it waits. Some games never end. Some signals never stop transmitting. Fragment 04. Visual artifact recovered from closed exhibit feed. Red-eye signature detected. Motion trace. Incomplete. This is Midnight Malfunction. Static entry. Beware the dreadful gaze. I wasn't supposed to be there after hours. I just stayed behind, ducked into a bathroom stall, waited until the museum closed. Not to steal anything. I just wanted to explore. Alone. The place had been open for one final week before permanent shutdown. Everything felt forgotten, like time was peeling away the paint. Most of the lights were off, motion activated, dim yellow pools in the halls. The museum's tablet guides still lit up when I passed. "Welcome to the Human Epoch exhibit," one said, in a voice that sounded cheerful, but tired, like it had given the same greeting too many times. The screen glitched, then flashed a message that didn't match the audio. "It sees you." I found the skull in a sealed display case. No plaque, no description, just a glass dome with a black velvet backdrop. Red eyes set into bone. At first, I thought it was a prop, but the energy, it felt real, like heat coming off old electronics, like a memory that hadn't happened yet. I stepped left. The eyes followed. Stepped right. Still locked. No mechanical movement. No tracking sensors. Just that gaze. I tried to look away, but my reflection in the case wasn't moving. The exit sign started flickering. One tablet lit up again.
"Do not break eye contact."
Another glitched violently, audio spitting static like it was screaming. The gaze rewrites, replaying, "You." I backed away from the display, turned toward the hall, but the entire museum layout had shifted. Exhibits moved, stairwell gone, no doors. The only way forward was back to the skull. The glass dome was cracked now. I hadn't touched it. There was something behind the skull, a thin cable, plugged into the base of the spine. Not bone. Tech. One tablet blinked. A voice came through it that wasn't pre-recorded. "You looked too long." The lights all went out, except for the red glow of its eyes. Burning. Overwriting. My thoughts feel duplicated. Out of sync. Like I'm walking through a version of myself from 10 minutes ago. I keep hearing footsteps, but they're always just behind me. And I know what they are, because I can see my own shadow. Moving. But I'm not. Signal. Distorted. Consciousness. Split. Viewer. Recorded. Packet complete. New anomalies pending upload. Creepy stories. Corrupted signals. Broadcasts no one should be receiving. But somehow, you did. This is Midnight Malfunction. Please stand by.